Blog Talk Radio.
The Midweek Metal and Horror Meltdown show is an online radio show and podcast that focuses on the newest and best independent metal acts, horror filmmakers, and movies from around the world. This is an hour-long show that showcases music from some of the best independent metal bands with interviews, latest releases, touring news, and much more. We also do a weekly independent horror movie segment with a horror movie review. We have special guest interviews from horror filmmakers, authors, and industry insiders. The Meltdown is broadcast live every Wednesday from 11 to 12 Eastern Time, directly following my show, Nocturnal Addiction.
And welcome to the Meltdown, folks. I'm horror painter Sissy Pesticide. This is the Midweek Metal and Horror Meltdown show. I'm joined, of course, by my delightful, fantastic co-host, Miss Lady Aslan. How are you?
Hey. I'm doing great. Got the laptop
awesome.
back. Now I'm just resettling everything and yelling at it because there's new software on it. Yeah, lucky me.
That's got to be fun.
Oh,
Turn
yeah.
that metal music down, next door neighbors. What's up with that? I'm teasing. So, everything looking good on the new laptop and whatnot?
Well, it's the same laptop. They just fixed my hard drive, and I'm just, trying to remember passwords and stuff, trying to get Spotify back, trying to get my WinZip back, Windows. It's never a dull moment. Never.
Let me ask you this, just a quick technical question, because I'm curious about it. On your WinZip, now, like I bought WinZip also because, shit in our business, you have to have it. Do you have to re-buy it again, or will the old key work on it?
Oh, no, I just got to give them a call, and they give me a different key, and it just keys it right back in. Same with Windows,
cool.
too. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, because that can be a drag, man. That can be a drag. Especially all the software that I buy. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Kind of. No, I'm not. I'm kidding.
Kind of, sort of, maybe no.
Actually, we don't. As paranoid as we are, man, we cross every T and dot every I, baby.
Yes,
we don't.
We do.
We can't afford that. Because I'll tell you what. Here's the thing: if you do that, you save what, $15, and it costs, we cut off several thousand dollar no's off our space, by having a show canceled or what have you to save $15.
Exactly.
So it ain't worth it. And you know what, folks listening out there, it isn't worth it either for you. I mean, I know it seems punk rock and everything to do. It's really not. I cannot stand. I tell you what, I just hate, absolutely hate. And I hear jackballs do this all the time. They're like, I really like that band, man. I like them so much, I downloaded all their stuff. I'm like, really? You like them that much? You stole from them. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure they love that. I don't know. Maybe it's
so
because we're artists,
school.
Maybe because we're painters and writers and stuff. We don't like people coming into our house stealing our stuff. I'm
old school. I'll pay for a download. I'll pay for somebody to send me a CD. I'd like to have something tangible in my hand. And if I download, I'm paying for it. So, I can spare a buck, or if I don't have the money, I'll listen to Spotify.
It's a line you have to walk. Like, I'm on more freaking nightclub flyers than I know all over the world, because I tell people, I'm like an image, you like a painting or whatever, you want to use it on your club flyer, no problem. Email me, and I'll send you a clean copy, a print quality copy, so it looks good. I don't want my name on something that looks like crap. And, people are cool with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just anything in entertainment. You find cool people and you find jackballs. Just like anything.
Yeah.
And people talk the talk and people who walk the walk. And that's just the way it is, man. And speaking of that, have we got a cat on tonight? Our special guest tonight, Johnny Daggers, that is definitely a cat who walks the walk. I've listened to several of his radio shows, and I got to tell you, folks, we have a whole page on our website, sissip.com. If you go there, it says, it's on the left-hand side, it says radio shows we dig or something like that.
Yes.
And he's right up at the top there. So a link to his show and all that, because hey, we have nothing to do with the show, but we like it, and you know what? We think you would too. So definitely, any of the shows on there. Todd Rundgren's shows on listed. There's a whole bunch. It's a whole page.
Martin Atkins, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Smart Radio.
The
Midlands
what's the one in
out of the UK.
Yeah, Midlands. That's a great station, and online radio really is the future of multimedia. Syndication, and terrestrial radio is just going in the toilet. But that's another topic for another show. But it's cool.
Yes, I have to give a shout out. Jennifer Marie is on Johnny Daggers' page, and she's like, she's listening right now. So hello, sweetie, and welcome to the show.
Well, there you go. How cool is that? Okay, well, we've got that. We've got Johnny Daggers lined up for tonight. We've got a great metal band out of Bay City, Michigan, actually. Madonna's hometown, Bay City, Michigan. Actually, I think she lived there for a minute when she was and then moved when she was 4 or something. But that's their big claim to fame. This is where Madonna started, and then left quickly.
And where you came from? You're from Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan. I'm down in Detroit, though. I was down in the Motown. Bay City. I was in Bay City for a couple months last summer. My father was having hip surgery, and I wanted to be up, well, at least in the same time zone in case something went awry, doing the good son thing. So I went up there for a couple months. It's a quaint little town. It's an old shipping town. So that's pretty cool, It's a cool town. Anyway, it's a great metal band called Chop House. They're awesome. We'll have them later on in the show, and that's going to be a good show. I'm in a good mood. I tell you, I'm worn out, man. I am covered in pain. I've been working my tail off today. Just whew. And what a day it was, man. I tell you, Did you get a chance? I know you got your new computer. Did you go on Facebook much at all today? Or not really?
I didn't really jump on until not too long ago because I was trying to set it up and everything, and then my daily
George Sakai had the best little thing he posted where it was it showed this stick figure, and he opens his laptop and this gay rainbow laser flies out at it. There was so much gay stuff on Facebook today because of the petitions and all that. And hey, you know what? 3 cheers to all of our, people of in that world. We're glad to share our world with you, and vice versa, I'm sure. There's gay horror fans, let me tell you, and gay metal fans. Matter of fact, I used to live above one, the lead singer of Judas Priest, but that's a whole other story we're not going to get into on the show. But yeah, where's $3 bill? Anywho, Lady Aslan, go ahead and... let's start things off. What are we doing first? We're doing birthdays, today in rock, or
we've
what
got
are we doing?
A couple nuggets of today in history, rock stuff, some birthdays, and we'll go into the movie review.
Okay, take it away, Lady A.
This kind of made me giggle. In 1963, President John F. Kennedy visits West Berlin, where he's greeted by more than 1 million of the divided city's residents. Now, in a speech he made famous, he declared, "Ich bin ein Berliner," and what he meant was, I am a Berliner. But what it translated to literally was, I am a jelly donut.
Really?
Yes. Yes,
wow.
Fun stuff. Fun little nuggets like that. And then we're going to jump a little bit closer in. Now we're going to come to 1975. And Sonny and Cher's divorce was finalized after 11 years of marriage. 1992. Heat of the Moment.
Well, they held it together 11 years, man. That's longer than I've ever held it together with somebody, so hats off to them,
Right. 1982, Heat of the Moment by Asia peaks at number 4 on the pop chart and stays there for 3 weeks. It was very popular at my parents' pub, yes. And then in 2000, federal investigators concluded John F. Kennedy Jr.'s plane crash. He crashed after they pretty much came to the conclusion that he became disoriented and lost control.
Yeah, pilot error.
Sad times, remember that, yeah.
That's too bad.
R.I.P. Got some pretty cool birthdays today. New York Yankee Derek Jeter is 39.
Wow,
Sean
I didn't
Hayes
know that.
From Will and Grace, 43.
Just Jack, speaking of. Hey, isn't that a nice birthday present for him? You know what I mean? The whole DOMA overturn thing and all that prop. It's good for that.
Yes.
That's a good for him. That's a cool birthday present for him, you know?
And we have country singer Gretchen Wilson, all jacked up. She's 40. And for our horror fans out there, Dick Smith is a whopping 91. He was the makeup artist on such films as The Godfather and The Exorcist.
Ah. Well, there you go.
Game. Sexy man, Chris Isaac, 57 today.
Can you believe that?
Jones.
Almost 60 years old.
I know, and still looks good. We
love
have Mick Jones, lead guitarist from The Clash. He's 58. Patti Smythe, the Grammy nominee for Best Song Written for Visual Media, and Academy Award nominee for Best Original Song. She is 56 today.
Scandal,
and
right?
we have, yes.
Yep.
I know there's like 3 Patti Smiths, Patti Smythe, and another Patti. I'm like, ugh. Kind of keeps you in the knot, keeps you on your toes.
I think everybody knows the Warrior video from the 80s and whatnot. That was a quintessential 80s video where she's all, make-upped out. I don't know what video was, the theme behind it was, but post-apocalyptic LSD trip or something. But it was interesting.
Something like that, yeah. Everything that was kind of like that back then. It was kind of fun. Let's see, who else do we have? Oh, another Goonie, Robert Davi. Now, he's an actor and a jazz singer, but he's best known for the villain in Goonies. The tall gentleman that has dark hair.
Happy birthday to him, huh?
Yes. There's also, let's see here, Harriet Wheeler. She is 50. She's the lead singer of The Sundays. I had a boyfriend in high school that his band opened up for them in West Virginia.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
And last but not least, Gilberto Gil. He is 71. He's a Brazilian singer who infused rock and reggae into his music.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. All sorts of goodies today. Now for the Netflix movie review. This gem. I've had this for a while, and I was just like going through my DVDs and Netflix and everything, and I came across it, and I'm like, this is one of those gems, one of these indie movies that I'm not sure a lot of people saw, and my friend gave it to me as a gift. Thank you, Ray. Zombie Honeymoon is a 2004 indie horror film. Now, it's produced by Hooligan Pictures, and this movie won the 2006 Chainsaw Award for Best Low-Budget Indie Movie. And just because somebody has a low budget or it's an indie movie, it's not a reason for anybody to turn up their nose, oh, it's just another zombie flick. No, it's actually a very cool, very well-acted movie. Now, the Zombie Honeymoon, it centers around, pretty much, it's a doomed love story of Denise, played by Tracy Coogan, and Danny Zanders, played by Graham Silby. And pretty much their honeymoon is disrupted because of an attack that turns Danny into a zombie. Now, Denise is pretty much torn between her love for her new hubby and the, oh shit, he's turning into a zombie, what do I do? Because it pretty much gets to that within the first 20 minutes. You know that she knows that he knows that it's a hot mess. And so basically, now what worked for me in this movie, like I said, was the acting in the beginning. You really could see and feel like these two kids are in love. I mean, when they come running out of the church in the beginning, you're watching it and you're like, wow, they're acting really good. And it's also very, very refreshing that they got such great actors for a movie like this. And it's just a real treat, and there's a great progression, especially with Danny's necrosis. You just kind of watch him just go down the ladder. It just gets pretty bad. And very,
but she
very
stands by her man, right? She stands, don't give it away.
I can't because
I know. We need to watch it.
Yeah, it's a very short movie. It starts slow and it builds. And let me tell you, the last 20 minutes of this movie is poignant. Trust me. You're going to be like, whoa, I can't believe she did that. It's very cool. And you will be like, And it's really the perfect, bizarre love/zombie film. I give it 2 brains and 2 rotten corpses and a thumbs up. And that was just my shout out, Billy Joe Bob style, if y'all remember who Joe Bob was.
You got to be a good woman to stand by your man as he's rotting away. I don't know. I've had gals leave me for balling up my socks in the laundry. I can't only imagine. Wow. Hey, awesome. So you say worth renting then? We're worth watching on your Netflix account.
Yes, it's definitely worth watching. It's, like I said, it's very good acting. The quality of acting, you would see this in probably a major motion picture. They got this into style. They brought it.
Very cool.
Very, very good. Yes.
Awesome. Well, hey, on that note, you know what? We're going to take a quick break, pay a quick bill, and then we'll be right back, folks, momentarily, and we'll have Mr. Johnny Daggers on. I know everybody's excited. He's in our scream room now. Get it? Instead of a green room. Oh, that's just the lamest joke in the world. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and we're going to play the commercial.
A lot of ladies think she's dreaming.
The dream room. I like the dream room better than the scream room. I don't know what we were doing on our show notes. Gee, that's one of those things that looks better on paper than a terrible joke. We'll be right back, folks. We're going to play a commercial.
Master Gunnery Sergeant Brad Potts speaking to you. Now sit down, shut your pie hole, and listen to Lady Aslan and Sissy Pesticide on the Midweek Metal and Horror Meltdown. That's a direct order, Wormstool.
NookieBox.com is an intimate, personal pleasure boutique and blog created by women. It was designed to inspire all women to celebrate their sensuality. We wanted to create a space where women can feel comfortable exploring their sexuality and owning their own personal joy and ecstasy. NookieBox.com. NOOKIBOX.com. Unlock the box and start feeling fabulous.
This is Nicholas Whitfield of Ninth Evolution, and you're listening to The Night Show, where talk radio gets strange. Keep on rocking and support that indie music.
Hey, folks, we're back, and we've got Mr. Johnny Daggers on the line. Hello, Mr. Daggers.
Good evening.
Well, hey there, darling. How have you been?
Been well. How about yourself?
Pretty good. It's been a while since I heard your voice. It still sounds good.
So were you? Fine, thank you. I appreciate that.
She's pulling out her credit card as we speak. I'm kidding.
Really? Are we on a...
That's our show next hour.
976 Daggers. I'm fine with that.
Right.
I'm not cheap, I can tell you that. So
money for the films anyhow, you know? I mean,
that's how I make my money.
You probably get it,
I
too.
get myself out on phone sex. If you're
Hey, we got to raise money somehow.
Steamy Dagger
Keep the art
action,
going.
I'm here wet and waiting for you. No. Okay, so.
That's awesome.
Anyway.
The problem would be, though, it would be all like truckers and stuff, you know, calling from Montana. And not named
my
Nell.
Daggers unsheathed and ready. No. Wrong. This whole conversation has already started off wrong. So.
Right?
Good evening.
Hey, I want everybody to know, folks, if you haven't seen the movie Caustic Zombies, we put the trailer up on the Facebook event page and on the show page, but that's a cool-looking movie, man. Now, how long did it take? Was that like I can only imagine that was a major undertaking.
Yeah. I started Caustic Zombies after my short film, Samhain Night Feast, which was a 20-minute short and won the Bastards of Horror Short Film Festival, and then decided to take on my own feature-length film, Caustic Zombies, which was quite an endeavor. You know, I've had a lot of filmmaking friends tell me that they've never seen anybody go from a 20-minute short film to a feature-length endeavor.
Right.
But I don't believe in, I throw myself out there. So it's like, if we're going to do this, let's do this for real. Caustic Zombies, the official director's version, is still not out, and I cannot tell you when that will be released. We had some problems internally with the initial cinematographer and the editing, who cherry-picked footage and left about 20 to 25 minutes of footage out, and we actually had to send we had to send the original tapes out to another state to get they had to recapture the footage, and then we have to get that back, and we have to re-edit the film from scratch. So there was a bootleg version that's floating around, but the official, definitive director's cut has not yet been released, and that may be a year or two before that sees the light of day. So.
Man, no, is that I mean, I can only imagine that's kind of a bit of, I mean, it's cool that people are seeing your work and whatnot, but, I mean, seeing a bootleg that isn't exactly how you want it, you know what I mean? I mean, that's got to be a little bit of a drag. But
I mean, not so much so. I mean, if you know, I mean, I released the bootleg officially. Just
okay. So it wasn't like
over.
Somebody snuck it out of the
No, nobody
lab
pirated the film. I decided that I was going to officially release the bootleg version, which is going to be completely different than what people will see with the director's cut, because there's going to be scenes in the bootleg that you might not see in the official director's cut, and the director's cut's going to have at least an additional 20 minutes of footage. So, but it's a tide people over. I mean, these things happen with independent films.
That's a smart move from a marketing standpoint, though, you know, because then you have, I mean, it becomes an automatic collector's piece, and, you know, I mean, there you go. 15 years from now,
it. Once the director's cut's released, we're going to do away with the bootleg, so it'll no longer be available. So it's a limited release, essentially.
That's awesome. Have bootleg, and you have to watch the credits because a certain poet is in the credits.
Right.
Really? Bono?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing.
Bono? Hey.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to roll back to what? Probably 2 years ago now.
I remember. Yeah, it was probably around then.
Yeah.
That's when I first know. Again, I am not. I'll be the first to admit it, even though we have a horror show. I am not. The horror is not my something I live and breathe. It's not my first love, I suppose. I don't have anything against it or anything. It's just not. I'm not one of those just full-on horror guys. But I've come across several in my travels. And I remember it was about 2-3 years ago, I first started hearing, man, it was like Johnny Daggers blew up. There was this one jackball that, I don't know, I knew. It's what, you know how you meet people and then you're like, oh, God. But I don't know, he had a major thing for you. And that's all he talked about was you. And I didn't know if you guys were going to go to prom or what, man, but... good for him. You know, it's good to have a fan. There's nothing wrong with that, I guess.
Right.
They're not going through your trash, smelling your shoes and stuff. But then I started hearing it all over. Well, what had happened is I went to visit a friend of mine in Pittsburgh, and man, you were like the Pittsburgh prodigal son or something. I think the only cat more popular in Pittsburgh than you is that what's the football player with the hair? And everybody loves
Paul Olive.
Yeah, I think it's him than you. You know.
It's Paul Mullen and Johnny Daggers. Well, that's very flattering. Yeah.
But it's cool, though. So, I mean, what a great city. Did you film a lot there, right, around Pittsburgh and what have you?
Yeah, we're very similar in the essence of George Romero, which he gave me his blessings to film Caustic Zombies. I met with him in pre-production.
Oh, cool,
and
yep, I remember that.
Yeah, he personally gave me his blessings on the film, and in similar George Romero fashion, we keep everything in the Pennsylvania area. So
right. Well, it's just a great. I mean, there's so many like the old. I mean, such a history there with the old steel mills and all the. And you know, they've changed a lot of that, but they still keep it. You'll be driving around. For those who haven't been to Pittsburgh, you'll be driving around and you'll see they've like preserved this old rusted out bridge, but they've made it. It isn't like Detroit where it's just an old rusted bridge dying, you know. I mean, it's preserved nicely. You know, it's like, wow, this is our heritage. It's just a cool backdrop, you know.
Right.
And
no, I agree. Yeah, I agree. And I mean, Anisha's from Pittsburgh herself, so.
That's right. Another Pittsburgh gal.
Right. In fact, she has some ties with. What, Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead? I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Yes, when I was a little girl, they shot that in my back field. I don't know if I ever told the story, but real quickly, you know, I was young. My mom saying, look, there's no such thing as a vampire. Zombies aren't real, blah, blah, blah. I'm heartbroken. I got to play. We lived on a farm. And it's where we used to all the rednecks that were shooting all the zombies in the car blowing up. Well, I go turn out and play because I see people Well, it was the zombies. They were in makeup, and they were warming up for their, for the shoot, and I ran smack dab into one. And at that point, I think that's when I snapped a little bit, and I ran back in the house, and I'm like, don't you ever light me again. There's zombies in the backfield. And I ran under my bed, and my mom's like, what the hell is she talking about? And my dad's like, oh, shit, I forgot to tell you. I said I okayed them shooting in the backfield. I don't know, they're making a movie. So all the bikers that are in the movie are bikers from my parents' pub. Yeah, so that's why I'm not right in the head.
Wow. I don't have kids, but I can only imagine a little bitty Lady Aslan. Can you... Johnny
Not
Daggers,
like 4. I just like call out right back in the house. Don't you lie to me.
Oh, man. Crazy. Now, besides movies, you got a modeling gig going. Well, I guess it's not a modeling gig, a modeling company, a full-on production company, and an incredible, I've heard a few of your episodes, great radio show.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man, you guys bring it. It's a good show. We tell people, I mean, let's face it, anybody can pretty much do a radio show. Well, they usually do for a week or two, and then they kind of run out of steam, steam and money usually. But I don't know, you guys bring it, and it's good. It's a smart show, and it's professional, and I don't know, I think it's cool. So,
you and Brian do a great job.
Yeah,
I mean, essentially, I was opposed to doing a radio show. I had done a radio show for years prior. I've owned my own magazine companies, 5 of them over the years, where we've done a lot of music, mostly music magazines.
Right.
And I had radio shows that corresponded with that. And I was really apprehensive about doing another show. And we had a lot of fans of Dagger Vision asking for us to do, a podcast that would keep them up to date about what we're working on. And, my counterpart, Brian Coddington, had approached me about it. And I was like, yeah, I'm on the fence about this. I'm tired of radio. I've done it for like 6 years. I'm just kind of over that. And then I realized it was a really good way to keep people in tune as to what we were doing. And then I decided, well, if we're going to do a show, it's kind of, egotistical to just sit there and talk about yourself and what we're doing. So let's talk to other filmmakers and other actors, and let's keep them. Let's see what they're up to. As far as the modeling, that's something that fell into my lap. I never ever planned on being a model. I don't see myself as an attractive human being. I don't see myself as the model.
Hey, man, you know what? If people are giving you checks to do it, ride that wave, man. And not to sound like a weird dude or anything, but no, man, believe me, I lived in California.
Right now or anything, are you? No, I'm just speaking.
No,
anyhow, good.
That ain't my thing.
I'm kidding.
I'm vulgar and hardcore for me. I like more of a pretty guy. No, I'm kidding. But no, you got the looks, man. You got the looks, So definitely do that, And there's not a lot of guys out there doing that kind of stuff, and I think that's kind of cool,
Well, I mean, honestly, with the industry, and I had a comment about it a few days ago, maybe a week ago, on my Facebook page, that the industry is infatuated with bloody, naked females, but there's nothing really out there for the females to enjoy,
Right.
And that's kind of sad in a way that there's nobody out there. I had actually talked to somebody about, what if you released a horror magazine that featured male models and you called it, like, Playgirl magazine?
Brilliant.
Play on Playgirl. I was like, somebody out there should be doing this shit. Not that I'm going to, like, flash my junk and get naked in the magazine. Well, I may, if the price is right. But, I mean, it's so saturated with female models, and I never aspired to be a model. How I got into it was that Dagger Vision Films blew up so big that publications around the world started interviewing me. And to coincide with those interviews, they wanted photos. So I started doing photo shoots to coincide with the interviews. Well, then people started to notice me and say, hey, he's got a cool look. We kind of dig that guy. And then the next thing you know, I find myself in the modeling realm, which has blown up beyond my wildest dreams, within the past few months. So,
there's all kinds of, possibilities with that and potential, I mean, shit. Yeah, like I said, ride that wave, man. You sound like you got a good handle on it. That's awesome.
Well, look at it this way. Any publicity that's brought to me through my modeling also helps Dagger Vision, because if somebody sees my modeling and they may not be familiar with the films, and they're going to say, oh, wow, he also makes movies, so we're going to check those movies out. So everything is, everything coincides with one another in that aspect.
Right. And that's what you got to do. You got to, we say it all the time around here, if you want to get the ball in the hoop, you got to hustle it down the court, There just ain't no shortcut to
That
it.
sounds like a sexual innuendo to me, but yes, let's get the ball in the hoop.
Dribble.
Oh, man, it reminds me of a party I was at once. Anyway, that's a whole other story.
So tell us about your anime that you have. I've been following that on Facebook. What's the lowdown on that? When will that be available?
Well, that's another thing in itself, honestly. I will, if I were to divulge that information to you at this current moment, you would be the first.
Gotcha. Yeah.
To hear. No, I mean, I'll gladly divulge the information to you. I mean, this is something that hasn't been discussed and has only happened recently.
Well,
for
don't
those
get
of you
yourself
that have
into
been,
problem.
well, no, I have no problems because as far as I'm concerned, anybody else,
Right.
whatever. I've never really cared about outside opinions. But leaking information, as of right now, anybody that's been following the film knows that Doug Bradley, Pinhead from Hellraiser, is doing the narration for the film.
Yes.
And that we were building everything ourselves. We were creating dolls and a set, and everything was based off of a 12-inch scale. And things were going really, really well at first. And there was a lot of momentum and a lot of drive. And, I mean, it was literally killing me. I was spending, 8 hours a day at my day job and then coming home and working for another 8 to 12 hours on building sets and working with some really amazing artists. And due to being an independent filmmaker, due to lack of funds, which prevented us from being able to get the proper storage that we needed for the sets, everything was being done in my flat, I was essentially living in a doll world for the past 6 or 7 months.
Right.
Go ahead, I'm sorry?
No, I'm just chuckling.
Okay. No, so I decided about a week ago, due to lack of progress, not stating any names in particular or anyone else, but things were at a standstill. We didn't really have the funds to get a warehouse to facilitate the sets, and essentially there was myself and 1 or 2 other people that were working on the sets. This may sound blasphemous, but any artist can relate to this, that sometimes when you're doing something, you will just totally destroy it to rebuild it. And honestly, I can tell you that what we've been working on for about the past 6 or 7 months has been destroyed.
Gotcha.
I demolished the sets, got pissed off out of frustration, and decided to take the film's still getting made. It's just getting done in a different route than what people may have perceived it to be at first. So as of right now, it's on hold. Honestly, there's a lot of different ways that I want to go with making films. I was very much influenced by German expressionist films, Nosferatu, Caligari, Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Monon Car is going to get made. It's going to get made differently than how we were doing it. It's going to be more feasible. And then there, either one of 2 things may happen, and I get a lot of flack from the few people that know this, but I'll be the first to break it to you. I could be done making films. I may not be. If I continue to make films, I do believe that I want to resort more back to the Samhain Night Feast films, where they're black and white, grainy, and also more interested in going into the silent film route, because I'm sick of the Hollywood industry and I'm sick of all the bullshit, and I honestly think that silent films are a lost gem that need to be brought back, even if it's in the underground level. So
I agree completely. I have
I was just thinking about that not too long ago. I have to come to Pittsburgh.
I have a friend of mine, Soma Snake Oil, and she just did this is a big porn gal, and she just did a porn movie actually that last year that was silent, and yeah, it was interesting. And it's shot all silent film style, and her boyfriend is
it'd be great, no pun intended, if it had the bouncing ball at the bottom of the screen. It was like,
They actually do.
yeah.
It's part of it. It's funny. Her guy is Fat Mike from NoFX, and he did this ragtime soundtrack to it. It's very bizarre and strange, but it's brilliant. I think you're right on with that. I mean, it's something, it's cool. It's something you don't see all the time, But you know what you were saying about the issues that came up. A lot of young bucks get out here and they say, "Oh, I want to make a movie," and they don't think about, well, not only are you going to be living, like you said, in a dull world with all these sets and everything around you, your gal's going to be there yelling at you. I'm sick of this. I want to be able to set a coffee cup down. And it gets to be a drag, but that's part of being an artist, I guess, right? You just gotta do your thing, man. And it sounds like
you do your thing. Well, I mean, that's what we're doing. I mean, we've already established ourselves. I mean, I'm under no time restraint from anybody about getting the film out. I get it out on my own terms, and if I want to completely demolish it and rebuild it from scratch, I mean, that's the thing. Sometimes I'm going to be completely not PC right now, but let's just say that you find out that you're pregnant and the child's not going to have a quality of life. Like, sometimes maybe you have to abort it and start over, That's totally wrong. But not really. You know what I'm saying? You get the analogy. Like, this movie was my child, but it wasn't going to have a quality of life that I wanted it to have. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just scrap the entire set and start over again and go about it a different way. So that's essentially what I did.
And you know what? That's called being honest, though. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You have to, when you stop being, and this will sound very art school here, when you stop being honest as an artist, it becomes very obvious, and you lose your way. I totally get where you're coming from, man.
Yeah.
Can't do it fake, or else I wouldn't be doing this. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I can honestly tell the film industry to fuck off tomorrow and not give two shits about it, and go on to do a different type of art, because that's just how my mind works, And there's a lot of different mediums. I've gotten heat from people that are like, "Oh, really? Really, you're doing modeling? Like, when are you going to get back to filmmaking? Like, you're just being taken advantage of." And certain people don't realize that I actually direct every photo shoot that I do, just like I am making a movie. Like, it's not some dude with the camera being like, pose and go do this. I'm like, especially like with my most recent photo shoot with the tarantula. I have spiders tattooed on my head, a huge spider web, and I decided, how cool would it be to get a tarantula and have her walk down my face and on my head, and I'm wrapped up in cobwebs like she's spinning her web around me and getting ready to fucking eat me, and directed and put that whole entire shoot together, and then went out and got a photographer that was able to accomplish that.
Right.
And I'm not your average model where it's like, hey, I'm a pretty face or whatever, like, just put me in front of a camera and I'll do what you tell me to. It's like, no, I'm still the writer and director of this. You're just the guy with the camera that's going to capture my vision.
Right. This is your job.
Just like a film production company that would get a cinematographer to film, their movie for them. That's essentially the same. But people don't understand that, and it's rather bothersome. But I don't really care at the same point either.
It's people. It's people that are half-hearted into the industry, into entertainment in general, and they don't know. And you know what? Sometimes it's better if they don't know. I mean, when you go see a magic show, it sucks when you know how the trick's done. You know what I mean?
Right.
Unless you're another magician, and then you're like, hey, that's pretty cool, man. If you did this or blah, 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 So I get it. But yeah, and I can imagine. I don't think any of these little gals are probably complaining about it.
The Canadian girls really love me for some reason, so I want to say hi to all the Canadians that are listening right now.
Well, my email on Facebook lit up like a friggin' board. Wow. Jennifer, Andrea, Jennifer. Wow. You have a lot of hellos coming in.
I don't know. Hello to everybody. I'm not even paying attention. But yes, it's flattering. It's hard too though when you're a modest and humble person to have such true things.
But what about, I read earlier on your post that you're going to be modeling for an erotic horror novel, Redemption for a Dark Soul. On the cover, eh?
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, coincidentally, a gal by the name of Nicole Harbaugh Campbell that I graduated high school with, she went on to become a successful novelist. and I can't even tell you the amount of books that she's had published right now, but she had contacted me probably 2 years ago about being a model for her novel, and she wanted me to be the vampire, male model. I'm like the Fabio of horror novels, I guess. But and I declined.
Now. Yep.
At that time, I wasn't modeling, and I was filming Caustic Zombies, so it was kind of a very, it just, the timing wasn't right with it, and I declined. And she reached out to me again. She has a couple times throughout the years, and she reached out again to me, and I was like, you know what, let's do this. Like, I'm totally cool with, so I'm going to be the male vampire model on this novel, so it's exciting, and, I look forward to doing that.
That's cool, man. That's very cool. So you're getting the custom things done. Now, let me ask you this. Since you have, like, a production, do you do all that effect stuff yourself, or do you have people you use to do that, or how does that work?
Effects in the films, or?
Well, both. Your modeling, like your photo shoots, or the film,
Well, with the films, it's mostly hands-on. I mean, I've done many of the, the props. I've done a lot of the special effects makeup, especially with Caustic Zombies. There was probably 2 or 3 zombies in particular. If you've seen the film, there's a scene where it's actually played by my cousin Gina Dominic, who was a zombie in the bathroom, and I actually got to do the makeup on her. That was one of the very first zombies that I got to do, and we made some really gruesome shit, and I was winging it, and it turned out really, really awesome. As far as, likewise with the photo shoots, Gornor, whom I love, Mitch Rafter, love you, brother. Gornor Magazine is this awesome horror publication. If you haven't picked it up yet, please do so. Anyhow, with Gornor Magazine, the one thing that I said to Mitch is your magazine's called Gornor. And at that particular time, I had several issues. I think I was in issue 3 or 4, the 3rd or 4th issue that came out. But I had the previous issues, and to me, the one thing that I thought is, man, you're called Gornor, but none of these photo shoots are gory. Like you need something that's going to live up to the name of your publication, not. And I decided that when we were going to be featured in Gornor, I'm going to make this the most bloody photo shoot that you've had thus far. And so I literally
buckets of blood.
Spent time. I literally doused the walls with buckets of blood, and took a whole bunch of liquid latex and made organs and fucking meat grinders and had cut up torsos and shit. And I'm like, I'm going to give you the most. And so as a filmmaker, that came in handy because I designed that whole entire. If you go to my Facebook page and you look at the Gornor photo shoot with chains hanging from the ceiling with like meat hanging off of them and shit, I mean that's all shit that I made by hand.
Wow.
Just to accomplish that photo shoot. So I mean, I try to incorporate that with as much as I can. I try to, combine the modeling world with the filmmaking world, and I'm not just some dumb model that can't, create art, and I pose in front of the camera. So.
Well, Zoolander, you're way beyond that. You know what I mean? Not just a pretty face, ladies and gentlemen. So there you go. A gory pretty face. How about that? No, I'm serious. Well,
the only pretty face is a gory face. So.
That's awesome. Hey, we got to take a break. Thank you so much. Where do we need to send people? We got lots of people. Where do you, yeah.
Well, I mean, you can look me up under Dagger Vision Films.
Okay.
You can also go to Facebook and go to Facebook.com official John D. Daggers, which is my modeling page. And I do want to give a shout out. I will be in the Halloween edition of Dark Parlor magazine with the Tarantula photo shoot. I'm also going to be doing a photo shoot with Mike Hurst, who is the owner of Coffin Cuties. So we're going to be doing a 2013 version of Taxi Driver photo shoot.
Oh, very cool.
Which is pretty exciting. And not to mention, we had mentioned the book cover in which I'll be on from Nicole Harbaugh Campbell. And, I mean, there's a lot to look forward to. And I'm also the president of Psycho Minds Entertainment, which is a modeling agency. And they had contacted me to be a model. And then after they found out my previous experience, they brought me aboard as one of the writers. So I'm responsible for 3 to 4 articles per issue, as well as being president of the company.
Very cool.
And, So there's a lot of really good things happening.
Well,
Awesome.
awesome.
If the link's up, I'll definitely purchase your friend's book. I'm all about supporting indie authors and musicians, actors. I will definitely purchase it. I'll take a cute
Check out
picture with
Horror,
it.
Coffin Cuties. You know, they're amazing, you know, up-and-coming horror magazines that I'm sure you will thoroughly enjoy. So.
Very cool. Yeah, we definitely will check that out. Well, thank you so much, and we'll have you on again soon for updates and all this and that, as your schedule permits, you know.
I would love to be back on the show. It was a pleasure, and I literally really enjoyed myself. I was looking forward to this a lot of times. I'm interviewed by people that ask the same old shit over and over again. It's mundane and becomes boring, and it's just like, but it was actually enjoyable to be on your show, and I had a good time. I look forward to coming back anytime you'd want me.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mr. Daggers. That's awesome. Well, there you go, folks. Johnny Daggers. And thank you again so much for calling in. What a great guy. What a nice guy.
Thank you, sweetie. Have a good night.
Thank you. You as well, hon. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Not a problem. Anytime. Thank you. And your fans for listening and chatting with me on Facebook. They're awesome, too.
Very cool. We'll be right back, folks. Got to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
This is Richard with your weekly kink and metal fix on the Midweek Metal and Horror Meltdown. Now, come over here with those handcuffs. Cheers.
Oh my god, don't sneak up on me like that.
What's got you so freaked out? What are you reading?
Whispers from Hell by Edward Canty.
Let me see that.
Sure, if you think you can handle it.
Whispers from Hell, an anthology by author Edward Vacanti, is available on Nook and Kindle and also available in paperback from Amazon.com.
Hey, babe.
All right, and we're back. Yeah, what a great show so far, Lady Arslan. I am impressed. That Johnny Daggers is a cool cat, man. A cool cat. A cool black cat.
Oh, he's awesome.
On full moon.
I met him back in the day when I was in my Duran Duran to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame campaign thing, and he interviewed with me, and we had lots of fun. That's how we became friends. Great guy.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, really, you know, it's cool to hang. I like making friends with people who are doing things and not just talking about doing things. You know, that's a big. You know me, my patience. I just don't have the patience that I used to. Hey, okay, we've got a great band tonight, Chop House, out of Bay City, Michigan. This is a melodic band. How are we going to do this, Lady Aslan?
Yes, we have Chop House, a melodic metal band out of Bay City, and they formed in 2010. Now, the group consists of vocalist Adam White, guitarist Eric Mulholland, and Dan Stelmach, and the bassist Enrique De Villa, and drummer Mike Wilson. Now, they are influenced by Metallica, Slipknot, Slayer, Volbeat, and Deftones. You can follow them on Facebook and Reverb Nation. They have one of the tightest chorus, instruments, landscapes, whole thing put together. When I heard this, I was like, wow. Awesome, awesome, awesome music. And we're going to play Already Gone and Welcome to This Town. I say we'll start with Already Gone and then go right into Welcome to This Town.
Yep, good. We're on time. We're running on time. Here it is, folks. Turn up your radios. This is Chop House, Already Gone.
I live for you. I won't let you hurt, little child. Your life will unfold. I will die within your soul forever. I won't let you hurt anymore. If I'm already gone, the past is done. Don't pretend. Destruction, sorrow, pain. I can see it fully when your thoughts are the same. If you don't enough to read between the lines, it all begins for you today. See it, I said see it. Anything you want, do everything to me. Do everything to me. God, this life leaves an impression that will last. Keep living like a bullet. Get caught up in the moment. There's nothing but nails in this bed of roses. You're feeling the flow of life. Just take the time. I won't let you hurt, little child. Your life will unfold. I will die within your soul forever. I won't let you hurt anymore. If I'm already gone, the past is done. Don't regret it. I won't let you hurt, little child. Your life will unfold. I will die within your soul forever. I won't let you hurt anymore. If I'm already gone, the past is done. Don't regret it. I won't let you hurt. I won't let you hurt. I won't let you. If I'm already gone. If I'm already gone, I won't let you hurt. If I'm already gone, yeah, I'm already gone.
There you go, folks. Chop House. That was already gone. We've got Welcome to This Town coming up. I just want to quickly let everybody know we have a link to their Reverb Nation page. And when you go there and you pick up either of these tracks, Already Gone or Welcome to This Town, 50% of the sales go to the charity Camp Southern Ground. It's a great charity, so you can help out with that, and it's really cool. Okay, we're up against it. So here is Welcome to This Town, Chop House out of Bay City, Michigan.
me. Now that I've learned my limitations. Trapped in unbeat mouths of pain and desperation. Now that I've found my inspiration, take me home. Welcome to this town. Oh, come on if you want, get me if you want. It's been a long time coming, a long road that's on me. You don't let the fight, but it's already fought. Take it and leave it, or is it already gone? How the fun did I want to you back? Don't you want to feel wasted instead? And let it go to your head. I don't want to feel this raging regret. That paranoia step in with the last chance you get. You want this, you want for it's never enough. It's been a miscontradiction, you wanna give up. Roll on, roll fall, be damned and astray. Put us horse to the sea, and watch as he goes down in flames. All the time was it too much to leave this town? Only return a better man. Now that I've learned my limitations. Trapped in unbeat mouths from pain and desperation. Now that I've found my inspiration, take me home. Welcome to this town. Isn't this the odor still within, coming from your dark side? This is my free will, your selling friend, coming from another side. Isn't this the old, the new, we were young and reckless, careless and see-through? Isn't this your right, a light that is guiding you in the battle, so fight for your life? You scream away, but can it help you fall like take down? The weight of this town is all that smashed you to the ground. You keep trying to hold me down and wait for you now. You're dying for nothing but this town. I'll pray for you. Wait for me, then I'll take a little prayer for you. Even though you don't want me to, even though you don't care about my pain. Wait for me, then I'll take a little prayer for you. Even though you don't want me to, even though I don't care about your pain. It's such a sad, sad story. It's such an evil town. All the time was it too much to leave this town? Only return a better man. Now that I've learned my limitations. Trapped in unbeat mouths from pain and desperation. Now that I've found my inspiration, take me home.
Hey guys, well that's it for this week's edition of the Midweek Metal and Horror Meltdown Show, 6/26/13. Had a great time. Me and Lady Aslan thank each and every one of you for listening in to the live show, and all of you in the future who have downloaded this or listening to the stream of the podcast. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. Very cool band, very cool guests tonight. We had a lot of fun. A final bit of legalese. All of our clips, interviews, everything we do, music, everything we do on all of our shows are all podcast safe and pod-safe and podcast legal. We have a good time doing it, and but we have to dot our I's and cross our T's and all of that. Anyhow, if you need to see permission forms, receipts, any of that kind of jazz, and you're a qualified party, iTunes, I'm looking at you. Get a hold of us through our website, www.sissy.com, sissyp.com, or call my art studio direct here in Fort Myers Beach, Florida, 239-206-3313. And someone during regular business hours will get back to you directly. Tune in next week for the all-new edition of our live show, which is automatically converted. All of our shows are automatically converted to a podcast for future downloads and listening and all of that. We will be back with all new metal and midweek metal and horror meltdown show next week. We'll see you then. Thanks again for tuning in, folks. You guys rock. Bye.